Hey everyone, welcome back to Retro Tech. I'm Steve, and today I've got part 2 of our look at eBay sellers, specifically the largest eBay seller of Sony PVMs and BVMs, at least in the United States. And this is someone who regularly sells PVMs almost daily on eBay. And today we're looking specifically at the feedback for this seller. In our first video, which I'll tag right here, if you happen to miss it, please go to it. I talk a lot about the background on this story and why it's so important that we're looking at it today and continuing to go down the rabbit hole that is this whole system of actually ordering PVMs and CRT monitors on eBay, and how it's just not as clear-cut as it should be. So let's just, without going into any more, I just want to look at some straight-up feedback, and we're going to go and look at some feedback over the last week. We've been tracking this seller's account, and we're just going to now take a look at some feedback on this seller. And so if we start off here, this was the very first feedback that we've got. Now this is, again, for this seller, Video Audio Studios, who was once known as First Video or First Audio sometime, and then even before that, The Only Shop 2013. So this is not a PVM or Sony BVM, but it is a high-price electronic item. This feedback right here says a negative feedback. We can see it says poorly packaged, severely damaged, poor response from the seller, and eBay decided the case in my favor. It also says this item cost over $500, but a best offer was accepted. So we see that right there. It says 1217 on the feedback. One negative. Now if we look at the next day, this one didn't take long at all. It's gone. Okay, you see here 1218 at the top for his total feedback, and there's no negative feedback for this month at all. So right away there's one gone, right away. And it seems like that one should have stayed, but it's gone. And so, oh goodness, we got another one here where not too long after that, a couple days later, it's another large electronics item. Item had defect, not visible in pictures. Tried to resolve, zero response from the seller. Negative feedback, okay? And then this item, again, is almost an $800 item. And so, electronics item, but if you look, the next day, or a couple days later, that feedback is gone. Now, there's another negative that showed up after it, but the one from before is gone, okay? See that one? It's not there anymore because he's only got one negative feedback here with 1233. If we go to 1244, he's got one negative feedback, but it's actually this new one, which I'll go through in a second, because at first I want to look back here at this other one, because right under it, look, somebody said, thank you so much for the monitors, A+ for a Sony. Wait a second, I don't even know what kind of monitor they got. I mean, look at this. People try to understand how this is deceptive. This is listed as a Sony BVM D20F1U, RGB, 20M4U, 20L5, 14L5, 20F1U, 20L2, CRT, PVM, BVM. So, I mean, what are you really getting here? And what is he legally, what can he surprise you with in the mail? Could it be any of these monitors? Because if you're not getting the ones directly in the picture, which has been a constant theme in this, is anyway, so somebody here gave him positive feedback, and good for him. Maybe they had a good experience and they didn't care that they were getting sold on a crazy listing. But anyway, so if we go to the last feedback that I have here that was negative from this week, it says monitor does not accept RGB input, contrary to description, not a PVM either. Let's see about this one. What's this? So it says this was a VTech 14-inch CRT RGB retro gaming video monitor, PVM. Oh, so it was listed as being a PVM and having RGB, and there's no RGB in it, of course. So, wow. So that one, of course, that's not going to be good. So, again, listing something as being an RGB monitor, first off, that doesn't have RGB, that's deceptive. And he knows what he's doing. He's selling so many of these monitors. There's no way he couldn't know what these monitors are. So there's that. And then he's listed as a PVM, which PVM is for professional video monitor. That's actually part of Sony's branding on these monitors. And so it's like saying you got a trinitron that's, I don't know, like oh, look, I got a Sanyo trinitron. that's just not possible. The trinitron and that technology was patented at this time by Sony specifically, so that's completely wrong. You can't list it as a PVM, and it's not even the same type of monitor at all, except for the fact that they're both CRTs. So there's another one. And then if you look at this account live, of course, we don't see anything about a negative feedback this month. So gone again. Gone, baby. 1252 total feedback, nothing negative again. So somehow we've got an instance where the feedback's constantly being changed here. This is like almost every other day, a bad feedback will come in and then somehow it's getting removed. So I wanted to find out, like, what the heck? Why is that going on? So at the end of the video, I'm going to go through that. But first, I wanted to go through a couple more testimonials that I got that were sent to me directly from you guys. And these are different a little bit than the last one. I don't feel like the first story, or they're pretty much the same kind of story, but I wanted to bring them up to you because I thought it was something interesting. Again, that is not the right way to do things on eBay. So first, I'm going to pull up this, try to put this over here for you. All right, so let's take a look at this little testimonial from one of the viewers. Now, I'm sorry I can't get it all in the picture here, but I'll read it to you. I have some info that you didn't cover, possibly would like to know. I got lucky. The guy is shady. I've never recommended him to anyone. I would also never buy another PVM from him. I really wanted a PVM 1405, so I did some things with this seller that I knew better, and I did it anyway. So I messaged him to do an offer on a 1405 on eBay. He sent me a message after he turned it down with a picture that had a phone number on it, saying, text me for a better deal. So I did. We worked out a price that was like $150 cheaper than what he had listed, and he offered free shipping, if I remember correctly. He set up an invoice through PayPal, listed the details, made a tracking info for USPS that day. So that was his ship the same day, which was Friday. It didn't actually send out till Monday. It came the next Thursday. The packaging was kind of crap. The box was destroyed, flopping around, and the monitor was flopping around inside. Luckily, it was fine. The only issue was the yoke was crooked, and I eventually just had to get around to fix it. I'm not blaming him on the yoke because that could have happened due to shipping. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, not that bad. If it would have been packed properly, it probably could have kept the yoke from shifting if it properly packed it. I don't give them all the blame on that. Okay, and then he said he met a guy on Discord that said the seller had done this kind of stuff before and that I was basically lucky for getting it. So that's one testimonial, and you can see right there, again, not respecting eBay's rules or policies, where he's sending out a specific phone number picture and saying, call me for a better deal outside of eBay. And the reason I bring that one up is I've got another seller story, one more here. And it is from someone else who decided to email me directly, which was very cool too. And I'll try to center this up real quick and we'll start talking about it. So this was another guy who was looking for an L5, but this was a 20 L5. It took him 2 years. He found the shop. He was going to buy from them because he felt like they were doing the right thing by having, good feedback and not having any negative feedback, having a return policy. And anyway, he also contacted about making a better offer and was told the same kind of thing, that he could get $100 off if he made the deal outside of eBay. Now, this person actually didn't decline that offer and went ahead and bought the PVM through eBay at the higher price. And he said he was happy he did that because it ended up being pretty much a 6-week process that was just a pain, where the monitor showed up cracked, destroyed pretty much. I mean, it was a cracked corner on the tube. The bezel was cracked. The back piece of plastic was cracked off the front panel, and or the power button was broken off. I'm sorry, not the plastic on the back, but just a complete mess. And then he said that when he tried to return it, it was not that simple. He had to schedule FedEx to come back out and pick up the package, and they just didn't come out. And, for 6 times said they were going to be there, and he said they never showed up. And he eventually got them to show up after he kept calling them himself. He also had to call eBay here, which was interesting. he actually had to call eBay himself to make sure that he was going to be covered in the case of this problem. So after he got his monitor basically refunded, and so he actually got all his money back, but he had to go and send the monitor back to him. And so I don't know what actually happened to that monitor, but anyway, he had to get a refund and said he was thankful he did, but it again was a 6-week process of just waiting and then like lack of communication. So this is a real feedback again from someone else that had some of a negative experience. And I was just wondering, what does eBay say about all this, and what are their thoughts on people who constantly get bad feedback but somehow change it? So I went online and I started looking up some stuff, and then there's ways that people can dispute feedback. So negative feedback left by mistake. I don't believe anybody that's left the feedback we've seen today was by mistake. Do you? No, probably not. So let's just throw that out. That's just it. Negative feedback left on purpose. I think this might be part of it. Maybe he's claiming that some people are trolling him or, giving him a hard time and not leaving fair feedback. If the buyer doesn't reply to your initial message. Now listen to this. If you read negative feedback or have a bad situation and he sends you a message asking you to make things better or something, which I don't understand how that's legal. I mean, that's almost like extorting. Hey, what'll it take to make this better? And they say that's not even you're not supposed to do that. Basically say, hey, give me better feedback and I'll give you a discount or something. That's against their rules, but here they're basically saying you can do it to get the feedback changed, okay? So if the buyer doesn't reply to your initial message, explain those situations in the comments box and let eBay handle the feedback removal process for you. They will remove it for you if you just don't respond to an email or a message they sent, or if maybe they even claim that you didn't respond, or if they get, whatever. Again, that's completely shady business by eBay. I don't agree with that at all, especially when they try to, make it seem like they're protecting all the buyers here. So anyway, let's keep going. If the buyer doesn't reply or you can't agree on a solution, you still have the option of asking eBay directly to remove the unfair feedback via report the feedback option. There you have it right there. So this is something where I don't like this at all. I don't like this system. There's a couple other things down there at the bottom that say if you put a wrong email address or if you are violating the policies as far as language is concerned or protection of privacy or something like that, then obviously your sale or, your feedback will be removed. But that doesn't seem to be the situation here. What I'm guessing is maybe somebody decided to take an offer of more, money off or something, or exchange for something, and then they got their feedback removed, which, how does that make you feel? Wouldn't you like to know the real feedback on people? I don't understand how they can have a feedback system that's basically this corrupt. But again, it just looks like eBay's trying to protect larger sellers, because I've seen this not just with this seller. There's a lot of other big sellers that sell $20,000 plus a month that do this same kind of stuff and get away with it and then manipulate the feedback system because eBay probably just loves that 10% money so much. They just love it. So they're not going to hurt and bite the hand that feeds them. And the customer is only as good as the money they're spending to them. So that's my 2 cents. I just want to say that I'm about to wrap this video up on this, but if you have any comments about this, and we'll, again, have more information or anything else you'd like me to talk about, I do want to say one more thing, that Nick, the owner of this store, actually sent me a message trying to maybe set up a Skype, and then that message was, like, the feedback deleted when I tried to go back and actually respond to it. It was through Facebook. So look, Nick, if you're out there, man, I'll give you a chance. Come on the show with me. I'll be glad to do something. We could talk about this. Maybe we can see what your side of the story is, but we also want you to know that we're watching this stuff, man. This is just like I understand you got a big business doing other things, but if you're like trying to hone in on business on this community, then this information is going to be spread throughout this community, and that's just the way it's going to be. Okay? So again, I hope he contacts me back. Please, I'll put my email in the comments, a pinned comment, as well as in the description for this video. So you have a chance to contact me right now, schedule something, and say, come on here. I'm not going to bite you. It's on the computer. So thanks again, everybody, for watching Retro Tech. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think with a thumbs up. And always, I really appreciate everybody subscribing, and have a wonderful day.